Hey, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
69.
Ballerina stars Ana de Armas, of course, from actually the world of John Wick. She is Eve Macaro. And this, we see her early days with her father, who is dispensed with by evil men who want her. He is then given a choice to train to be an assassin, goes through training, but never forgets how she got there and that she will be on a mission to get revenge against those who killed her father in the early minutes of the movie. It is the most simple, thin plot for any action film. No layers. It is simple revenge story. Nothing more than that. Is it girl boss? Is it insufferable and annoying? That is the big question. And how are the action sequences? Well, a couple things. One, I think Ana de Armas is just likable, just in general as an actress. Her brief part in the Daniel Craig 007 movie, she was amazing. You wanted to see more of her. And what I think they do really well is you see her fight, but they tell her you can't beat a man. You have to use a different set of skills to survive.
Yeah, they tell her to fight like a girl.
Fight like a girl. You can't fight like a man, so don't. You can't beat a man. They are stronger, but you have different skills. Use those. And you see her fail quite a bit in training, in the action sequences. We'll talk about those later, but you don't see her she's not a Mary Sue in a ballerina outfit. And that works quite a bit. I don't want to get into spoilers, but you know that Keanu Reeves is in the movie, and not a small cameo either. He really is in the film in a bigger way near the third. Yeah. Like it's like good, just enough not to take over the movie, but he's there. And we'll get into the action sequences because, oh my God, there is an action sequence with two people that have flamethrowers that is so good. I mean, I'll say this. The audience I saw it with was laughing half the time. I mean, it was hilarious. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, this is John Wick Light. That's probably the best way I can describe it. It's got the John Wick action in it, but it's not John Wick. And so you're gonna go in basically with that assumption is like, look, if you love the John Wick stories, you love the action, blah blah blah. This is it, but light. It's not all there. When you say fight like a girl, there's one aspect of a girl assassin that is not in this movie, and to me, it was the sex appeal. They just basically leaned into she's a badass fighter. She knows martial arts. She knows how to shoot guns. You see her training that's the thing that works or that creates the believability, is because there is an extensive training period where she doesn't win all the time.
Yeah,
that she has to become good enough. But again, it moves so quickly. There's something about John Wick where the pace is slow, but you understand his motivation and why he does things. The first movie was because they killed his dog. And there's, I don't know, for some reason, the fact that they killed his dog had this more emotional impact than the death of her father.
Yeah.
Let's see. And the other thing is I do like the idea of the villain they use. Gabriel Byrne played the villain. He's kind of a cult leader, and she has to take on an entire little town. I appreciate that, but I I felt like they needed more time to develop that to make that feel more menacing as opposed to more comical. And so in the end, you're right. The flamethrower scene is the best part of this movie. Ana de Armas, hot, sexy. It makes it for an enjoyable watch. But this is not John Wick. It's John Wick light.
I would agree with you on, and I still enjoyed it. I mean, the plot is so razor thin, it doesn't matter. And it rarely slows down. I think that's by design. I think, and there's a weird third act twist that is so like it happens and then it's thrown away. It's so dumb. You know what I'm talking about?
It was kind of like it was thrown in there because we needed that, I suppose. But if that element was never introduced, it wouldn't have made a big impact on the ending of the film.
Yeah, it was like that could have been interesting if they took that further, but it's literally introduced and thrown away like that.
Yeah, it was fast.
It was fast and then thrown away. But look, what was the purpose of this movie? One, it's under 2 hours. Thank you. There is no post-credit scene. No post-credits at all. Okay. And I'll just say that the action was relentless. They didn't waste time on story. There's some not only the flamethrower, there's a scene with grenades being used to kill people that I feel like the audience was cringing, not in a bad way. Like, oh, that's gory.
Yeah.
The gore was there.
Some people don't make it out very well with the grenades.
Badly.
And it's very graphic.
And then you go like, well, how could she survive that? Whatever, it's a movie. But also they were laughing at the over-the-top ridiculousness of it. I mean, I had fun with it. I had zero expectations. In fact, I thought this would suck. And it's actually a lot of fun. I was surprised at how fun it was. You know, again, flamethrowers, grenades, it wasn't all gunplay, right?
But the thing is, like, because it's in the world of John Wick, and then you try to compare this movie to John Wick 4, and you realize the action compare. Was so much. I know you can't compare. That's the problem, is you're putting it in that world, and you force us to compare. And when you compare this to John Wick 4, the action is very typical. It's very, you'd see this in other action movies, and there's not a greatness that the filmmakers strive for, like the greatness of John Wick 4 with those action scenes. Like he didn't have a flamethrower, but he had that the kind of rocket flame gun and the sequence that was shot overhead in one shot. That was incredible. The falling down the stairs at the end of John Wick 4 was an incredible scene.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything really here that matches that or that lives up to that. But again, as you say, I still had fun with it.
The flamethrower stuff is so creative. And I'm watching these stunts. I mean, look, I don't know how they did some of it. I mean, some people really got nearly hurt, had to have. It was insane, like how that played out, because it was one guy with it just escalates, and there's one point where there's two flamethrowers going at it. It was like people were screaming in the theater and laughing because it's so
and then
over
the way it ends. The way it ends is okay. So maybe the flamethrower. I'm not going to say, but maybe the flamethrower scene is the moment in which it tries to become a John Wick moment. I will grant that it came very close to doing that, and it's an incredible sequence to watch. Again, I think we would be much more apt to recommend this movie, which we are, if it weren't in the world of John Wick.
Yeah, but I'll just say that it was creative. It was fun. I'm tired of, this has been overused in movies, especially like things like even Thunderbolts and things like that, where it's that close-up combat where it looks choreographed.
Yeah,
it's very quick, like
yeah. Like you don't
Let 'em
understand
go
why
out.
someone would move in that direction or move in
That-
that way or
The
do
thing,
that.
and women do this always. Florence Pugh did it. She does it in Ballerina. Eve does it in Ballerina, where it's like the takedown with the two legs goes and twists a man down. Like
Yeah.
there are things that are happening with stunt work that are now being overused. They are hiring the same choreographers and just reusing the same bits. And it's making action movies boring. It's the same action. What this movie did with grenades, flamethrowers, and other types of
And
weapons,
guns, yeah.
cutlery from a kitchen. I'll
Mhm.
just say lots of different ways of killing people are utilized creatively.
Yeah, because
And I appreciate it.
I don't think she ever punched anyone out.
Well, I
And
don't
that's
think she can. That's
yeah,
the point.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't.
Fight like a girl. In
Yeah.
fact, that's the ending song of this
The ending
movie.
song.
It's called Fight Like a Girl.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb, but it didn't. It's not girl bossy or whatever. Hey, it's a revenge story. I want revenge for the death of my father, and
Which
there-
I mean, how many times have we seen that?
it's very typical. But it's Anna de Armas, and because of that, I actually care.
Yeah.
I wish she was sexier in it.
Yeah. I wish there was a little, she would exploit that kind of
She
that
dressed
skill.
she dressed too practically
Yeah.
in the film. So, but look, overall, I enjoyed it. Low expectations, and it's no John Wick. It's its own thing, and I recommend it. Alan, do you recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it. There is something to be said about having your lead actor be pretty throughout the entire movie. Someone pleasant to look at. Let's just put it that way. I like that trend that Hollywood has been going on since its very beginning, but until recently has decided they don't need to do that anymore. Pretty people work.